This podcast is brought to you by Shield Bearers. Shield Bearers is a consulting agency helping churches and religious organizations protect parishioners from active shooter situations. They provide trainings to your team, help create systems, and implement safety measures to protect your house of worship. To follow them on Facebook, they're at Shield Bearers Consulting, or to contact them directly, dial 609-232-2711. 609-232-2711. My name is Jose Vargas, and I am on a mission to help you create breakthroughs in your personal and professional life so that you can grow and lead your life with excellence. Welcome to the Jose Vargas Show. This podcast was created for leaders to help leaders strategize to create breakthroughs. I am your host, Jose Vargas. Thank you so much for listening. In this episode, I want to give you the next step in getting your breakthrough, the next step in leading your life. I call it the lead through method. It is called overcome it. What challenges and obstacles will you confront on your way to where you want to go? Now, if you're on your way, you're probably experiencing some of those challenges already today. Now, let me share a story with you. When I was about 10 years old, I went rock climbing for the first time. It was fun. It was engaging. It was exciting. Needless to say, when I went all the way up, I felt courageous. Until I looked down, that is. I can still remember the feeling of being afraid, paralyzed by fear. I wasn't able to move. I was stuck. And to top it off, I was being watched by friends. And the longer I stayed up there, the larger the crowd got. I'll get back to the story of what happened in a few moments. But have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt stuck, discouraged, afraid? Life has hit you so hard that you find yourself in a place that you never thought you would be. I felt that way many times, not only in that rock climbing experience, but I felt that way in different areas of life. I call this moment the wilderness season of life. We all go through discouragement. And if you say you haven't, well, I don't tend to believe you. I think we all have had discouraging situations. This place is a hard place. It is a lonely place. It is a scary place. And it is a discouraging place. But even in this place, you can find purpose and hope. I'm not saying that you should be glad that you're in the wilderness, so to speak, in your life. But in spite of your situation, you can learn something that will give you purpose to move forward and rise into your calling and to find fulfillment once again. I want you to know that somehow there is purpose in our pain. And I don't claim to understand all of it. Quite frankly, sometimes it is irritating and frustrating not to know why pain sometimes happen and come to our lives. But as I was thinking about this and as I was really reflecting on this subject that I was preparing for you, I want to share with you 5 things. And if you're able to write them down or come back and maybe write them down after you're driving or maybe you're exercising. But I want to share with you 5 things that the wilderness seasons of life will do for you and will do for me. The first thing that the wilderness season will do for you, or that you can learn from the wilderness season, it's that it's the road to our purpose. You can't get to the mountaintops of life, the successes of life, the victories of life, the thrills of life, the joys of life, without first going through the valley. You can't have success without failures. And you can agree with that. You're probably nodding your head in agreement because you understand that that is a fact of life. You can't know victory if you don't taste defeat. The wilderness for you, as you're listening to this today, Maybe your business is operating from a garage, or maybe you're operating at a very small level. Maybe you're barely making it. Maybe COVID has devastated your business, or maybe COVID has devastated your family, your finances, your job. Your wilderness could be maybe that your marriage is in trouble. Your wilderness could be your faith is shaky, or maybe you lost your faith. Your wilderness could be that you're tired of being alone. Perhaps your wilderness looks like more month at the end of your money. The wilderness is a time when you discover what you must do in order to win. It is truly the road to our purpose. The second thing that I believe that the wilderness seasons causes in our lives is that it is the testing ground of our character and our faith. Have you ever heard this statement? Curse God and die? That is what the wife of this man named Job years ago said. After they lost everything that they had, they were in the wilderness season. They lost their business. They lost their children. Job lost his health. He was in a wilderness for sure. Yet he did not curse God and die, but he said that the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. He said, "Blessed be the name of the Lord." Man, when I read that, I get chills because, you talk about character and you talk about faith and you talk about faith in trials, faith in a wilderness. Job is a perfect example of that character and that faith being built through that wilderness season of our life. What you may be going through may be tough, and you may not understand, and I'm definitely not minimizing your pain. But could it be possible that this testing or that this wilderness and this problem is testing your character and making you stronger? I don't know, but could it be possible? Could it be possible that it's revealing that your hope perhaps was in material things? Or could it be possible that your heart was in titles or positions or in possessions? I'm not saying any of these things are evil, but what I'm saying is that sometimes we can lose our identities in our performance, in our positions, in our possessions. And sometimes when things get stripped from us, when life hits us hard, we find out what we're truly made out of. Now, I want to share with you an analogy that I often use when I speak on the subject of perseverance. And I lift up a tea bag and I ask the audience, what flavor do you think is inside this tea bag? After a few moments of them wondering, right, I get a hot cup of water and I place the tea bag in it. And I describe to the audience that the only way to know what is in it, if it doesn't have a tag or anything, or if you don't have the box, the only way to truly know what's inside of the tea bag is to put it in hot water. In other words, it is to put it in hot pressure. This hot water is the pressure this tea bag needs in order to reveal its content. That is, and when I think about that, isn't that true of life? Sometimes the pressures of life will reveal to you what's inside of you. And that goes both with good and bad attributes, both strengths and weaknesses. Pressures of life, the wilderness seasons of life, the obstacles and challenges that you are encountering or will encounter on your way to pursuing the things that you were created to do, on your way to get your breakthrough. It is the testing ground of your character and of your faith. And so, as you're going through obstacles, as you're going through challenges, pay attention to what's coming out of you. Pay attention how you're either rising or how you are leaning towards things that are becoming destructive in your own life and in your own leadership. Think about how you respond in conflict. Think about how you speak when you're agitated, when you're under pressure. The third thing, it's that the wilderness is, it's the place where our hearts get molded. Sometimes life gets too busy. There's no breathing room, no room to think, no room to hear until really we get in a hard place. This is the place where we can search our hearts in this wilderness, in these obstacles, in these challenges, and see if there's anything in it that has to be built up. Is there anything in my heart that is hindering the progress of what God intends for me as a man? And so I want you to ask yourself that question. What is in your heart? What is this challenge? What is this obstacle doing? And how is it molding you? How can you allow it to be molded to be better? Maybe we have picked up hate in our journey of life, or bitterness, or jealousy, or rage, or anger, or pride, or maybe we have failed and we feel like a failure. And it's in this place that I believe that God wants to heal us so that we can rise and serve our generation. But you can only serve at your best if you are at your best. And so in this wilderness, in this challenging moment, when you're overcoming obstacles, I want you to understand that as you're overcoming these obstacles, your heart is being molded. The fourth thing it does, it's the place of dependence. And I know this one is hard for us, particularly as a man, right? And in our generation, because it's countercultural. We live in the I generation, in the independence generation. Yet we were created for community, to depend on each other. We were created to be in community with people and, yes, with God. This is the place where we learn how to depend on other people who may be stronger in an area, who may be wiser in an area, mentors and leaders and coaches. Yes, we're leaders, but we need other leaders that will speak into us and that will speak words to us that will help us rise and become the leader worth following. There are many things that we can do on our own, but sometimes the things that we do on our own are not really impactful things or eternal things. Things that will outlast or outlive us. And I don't know about you, but I want to leave something in my daughter. I want to leave something in my children that will endure even when I'm gone. When I'm an old man and I'm no longer here, I want my daughter to have my faith. I want my daughter to have the values and the passions that I have. I want to instill hope and faith and joy. And so I want to give to others that hope, faith, joy, and help them find clarity and purpose. I want to give to others rather than just take. So in order for us to do this, we need to understand that we need community, that we can't do things isolated on our own. The fifth thing that the wilderness does for us, that is the place of preparation. This is the moment for you to really stand up and rise and get ready for what is about to happen in your life. It is a moment where you should get excited. And if you're a person of faith listening, get excited about what God is about to do through you. Take this wilderness moment in your life and prepare. This is the place where you're going through obstacles and challenges, where you have to figure things out, where you really have to read, you have to practice, where you have to save, you have to pay off debt, you have to invest, build your relationships, to plan, to write, to whatever it is that you can do. The wilderness is your preparation moment. And it's sad because coronavirus has taught many of us that time was never the issue. If you haven't accomplished your goals or the task or the objective, maybe for you it was this desire, this dream, and you didn't accomplish it. Maybe time was never the issue because we were on lockdown. We were in our homes more than ever. But maybe it was a priority issue. Maybe it was a heart issue. And it was a revelation on what is truly important to you. And maybe you need to shift some things around. Maybe some of you wasted time and maybe some of you maximized it. But I want to encourage you in this episode that this moment could be one of your best moments in life and in your leadership. That as you're going through these obstacles or anticipating the obstacles or challenges that you might confront as you're reaching the level of leadership that you want to reach, or as you're building your organization, or as you're building your family, your marriage, whatever it is for you, I want you to know that these challenging moments are building you. And so don't just hope and pray that these challenging moments will disappear or will go away, but allow these challenging moments to really mold you, to prepare you, and to get you ready for what is ahead. So I want to finish this story of what happened when I was up there. And when I looked down, the crowd got larger. I remember as I was up there afraid, stuck, as I was on that wall, I remember this big grown man started climbing up to help me get back down. And as I watched him come up, I felt encouraged and I felt hope. And he spoke to me and he said, hold on to me. I'm going to help you get down. And he said, it's okay. I'm here with you. You are safe. And we will get down together. And that gave me courage as a 10-year-old to start climbing down and to face my fear. And I just want you to know today, as you're listening to this man rescued me. He helped me come down safely. And answering this question that we started off this episode with, what challenges, what obstacles will you confront on the way to where you want to go, is critical to you actually growing towards it. Because when you anticipate the direction that you want to go in, when you anticipate that there's going to be these potholes, these challenges that you're going to have to overcome, you can prepare in advance. And you may find yourself today, like I found myself on top of that wall, stuck and afraid. Today, identify your challenges. Shift your perspective on how you view them. That they're not there to stop you. They're not there to derail you. They're not there to slow you down. They're there to prepare you and to equip you. And it could be that wilderness for you. And it's doing something for you instead of against you. And I want you to begin to plan accordingly. Who can you place on your team? Who can you place in your life to help you overcome these challenges? Who can you speak to as you're going and growing through your wilderness season? Find a friend, another dude that you can talk to, or maybe hire a coach, or maybe if you're listening to this, another lady that you can speak to. Hire a counselor, a therapist, talk to a pastor, your pastor. But don't go at it alone. See, growing up without my father has made me realize the importance of having one. And now that I am a father, I am intentional about being involved in the life of my daughter, Evie. See, when Evie started walking, we would hold her little hand as she went up and down the stairs to our apartment. And at first, it was very slow and often very wobbly. You needed a lot of patience. And when she was a little over 2 years old, she was 2 years and 3 months when she started to move a little bit faster up these stairs. And we're living in the COVID age as of this recording, so we couldn't have her hold on to the rail, so I had to hold her hand. She was going up a little bit faster and faster, and one day she went up so fast and so good, and she made it to the top of the staircase with a smile on her face. She said, "Papi, we did it." And I said, "Yes, we did." And this is what I want for you. Your breakthrough in life, in business, in whatever you're trying to accomplish is one step away. It doesn't matter how slow you started, or how wobbly you may have been, or how slow you feel, or the lack of progress that you feel like you've obtained. What matters is that you continue to climb one step at a time. That you continue to grow and lead your life. your business, your organization, the people in your life, the people you have influence with towards the victories and towards the outcomes that you desire. But it starts with one decision. It starts with one step. Listen, if you need someone to come alongside of you and help you reach your desired outcome, reach out to me, reach out to a friend, reach out to someone. I want to hear you say, Jose, I did it. And I want to turn to you and say, yes, you did. It takes time and it takes work. But together we can become a leader worth following. You don't have to remain stuck. You don't have to put up a front. But you can take actionable, practical steps to get breakthroughs and not just accept your life, but lead your life towards excellence and towards impact. Because isn't that what we want? We want to have impact in this world, and we want to impact the people in our lives. Thank you for joining me today. Please share this podcast, leave me a review, and see you next time.